It will never get old.
Just made that for us tonight. So yeah, we are going to try really, 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 really hard to not curse. Hence the reason that it's scrolling on the bottom there. I was going to put a little sticky on my computer, but I decided let's just put it up there, and we will make a conscious effort to not be like Deb from Dexter tonight. Because I did a count on how many times we cursed in the last show because I was trying to cut it out. And although John started us off,
everyone thinks I'm the...
It was just a roll all the way down the hill. It was like that rock cascading off of that cliff on that lake in Brazil. It's just like, John started it and then it started creaking, and then Dennis, and then Monique, and it was all over. And I just kept marking it, and and I was like,
did we?
Jeez Louise!
Did we surpass Scarface?
Jeez Louise! I can't stop myself.
Oh my goodness.
Oh jeez.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
Oh jeez. So we're gonna try really hard.
It's gonna be a fun one.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Oh jeez.
Well, we're like Bob Saget. We go from his stand-up act to America's Funniest Home Videos.
That's exactly right. So you two are my Olsen twins, and I will be Bob Saget on whatever that stupid show is that I never watched. What was it called?
You didn't watch Full House?
Oh my God, no.
Again, that's on.
No, never watched
Boy Meets World is on the Friday night.
Yeah, that's...
What is it called? Thank God, TGIF.
TGIF.
Yep.
Yeah, there was no way I was ever home on a Friday.
Exactly. Especially when that was on.
I'm not watching fucking Dharma and Greg. Xenon. But I was impersonating Monique.
Holy crap.
I was impersonating Monique.
3 minutes, Johnny.
Hey, it wasn't me.
Johnny.
3-minute mark.
Johnny.
But I was impersonating Monique.
Johnny, now stop. Okay, you got it out. You got it off your chest. Now stop. Can you? Is this possible?
Yes.
Oh. Tiger Lily said I had the under. All right. So what we are doing today, rest in peace, Bob Saget, although I didn't know you as an actor or as a comedian.
What'd you know him as?
I don't know him really. I just know
You didn't know him as anything?
It's not really. I don't follow those.
Come on, he was in Dirty Work.
He produced Dirty Work or directed it or something like that.
Yeah, it was like it was his thing, Dirty Work. He was like,
I don't.
He was on the Stern Show 10 times.
Everybody needs to know that MZ is naked right now, just so you all know.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Not sure what that is, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
You just, okay.
The credo was, Monique, Bob Saget was such a nice guy that even Dennis doesn't have a bad word to say about him.
Absolutely.
See, but here's what's going to happen. Xavier and I were talking about it this morning, and it kind of led into this conversation about Tom Petty and what a great guy Tom Petty was, and he was so sweet and so nice, and he died at like 65 or 66 or something like that. But then, as it turns out...
Good comparison, Monique. That was a very mysterious death. Good comparison. Yeah, that was a weird one.
When they did the autopsy, he had four different types of just fentanyl.
Exactly.
4 different types of fentanyl in his system, plus oxycodone, plus diazepam, which is Valium.
Not a surprise.
And he had a bad hip, and he didn't want to go in for the hip replacement surgery because he wanted to continue touring.
That bad hip also did Prince in too. So.
Oh, you're so right, but he was a Jehovah's Witness, and he wouldn't take any drugs, right?
Well, no, that's why he died. He was taking drugs.
Sorry, I didn't mean that. What I meant is that he didn't want to get any operations. Like, he'd rather do palliative remedies than to actually get his hip fixed. Not necessarily sure if Bon Jovi wants to come in or not, but I'm pretty sure we'll be hearing from him on the private chat. Hey, and Bon, if you're listening, we made it 3 minutes. But we're going to try for the remainder of the show. So if that means that there's only one edit in the show, then we are
the thing is, Bob Saget, though, his stand-up was absolutely filthy. I mean, it was utterly filthy.
So yes, I don't know. It was
filthy, but it wasn't.
And very
it was kind of
inappropriate.
Forced. It didn't. I mean, the whole thing was like, look at how clean cut I am. I'm gonna ambush you.
That was a dichotomy.
Really
it was a dichotomy.
It was, yeah. I didn't like it. I thought it was forced, and I
mean, he wasn't. He's no Gilbert.
Well, let me give you the full circle. Let me give you the full circle of this morning's conversation. So we started talking about Tom Petty, and then ultimately that he died from all this like drug overdose, basically. Mm-hmm. Then to only realize that Tom Petty's drummer was actually the stand-in drummer for Alanis Morissette, along with Flea, and somebody else also played on that first seminal album of hers with You Ought to Know, which, full circle, was a song about none other than Dave Coulier.
Wow.
Full circle.
That is 6 degrees of separation right there.
But it all worked out.
Would you go down on Dave Coulier in a theater while watching?
No, absolutely not.
Uncle Vanya.
I'll never go down on somebody with a mullet. It's today or when I was 20. That's an absolute
Happy birthday! Tiger Lily's son has the 112 Productions. Is he under the 112 Productions benefit plan?
Oh my goodness, we have to do a birthday show, don't we?
That's the 12th. That's Wednesday.
Yes, yeah. Dave Grohl's drummer. What's his name?
Pap Smear or
Pap Smear? Dr. Pap Smear.
No, his name's not Pap Smear. It's
Taylor Hawkins.
Taylor Hawkins was the drummer. That was actually Alanis Morissette's studio drummer. Was Taylor Hawkins? I didn't know it.
He looks like a mongoloid Brad Pitt.
Who's the other guy though? Who's the other guy who also played with Flea on Alanis Morissette's first album?
John Frusciante.
No.
Is it her only album?
No.
Well, there was the guy from Aerosmith, the producer, who's credited for writing her songs. What the hell is his name again?
Who?
Shoot.
I don't know. Everybody, all those people were kind of one degree
here.
of separation from Jimmy Iovine. And he's the one who pretty much produced everything that Tom Petty did and stuff like that. So, yeah, you guys, I know it's going to drive me crazy if I don't figure this out right this second. I can't believe none of you are
going to the
looking
Google
this up
machine?
for me. I'm going to the Google phone machine right this second, and I swear to God we're going to start the show. So
we are?
Hang on a second. Yeah, I swear we're doing this.
We're 15 minutes in. I'm just let you know, or 10 minutes in. I'm just letting you know.
That's only 10 minutes. We usually don't start for like 20 or 30. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right, hold on.
Mine says 8 minutes and 55 seconds.
Okay,
now it's at the 9-minute mark.
At the 9-minute mark, Monique went to her phone. she looked up Google.
Okay, hold on. Shoot.
While being pouty.
Seeing it. Okay, Jagged Little Pill. Here we are. Yeah. Oh, Dave Navarro. How about that?
Oh,
Dave Navarro.
Wow. Flea and Dave Navarro were on the, and they came in just to kind of play around with it and see if they could figure out, what was going on musically in it. She wasn't even there. And
how many bands did Dave Navarro play with?
400.
They passed him around like
anybody.
Pamela Debar. 4 bands?
Yeah. Anybody who would listen.
Oh, anybody.
Jane's Addiction.
Sorry, I'm just
adjusting
Jane's
myself. Addiction.
Yeah, he was in Jane's Addiction. Yeah. God, he was in a lot. He was in a lot of
Carmen
bands.
Electra. He was in.
Repeatedly.
Okay, so
Who
here's
wasn't?
what we're doing today. So I only pulled a couple of clips for today
because that's all there really was.
Oh, it was a horrible show, and you know what? It ended kind of early, and it was really weird.
No.
There was so much to fast forward through. Really, so much.
It didn't end early.
It no right. Not having a guest. You have no right. You have no.
Well,
they cannot deal with a non-guest show, and it's all last week. No guest.
There won't be a guest this week either. So the thing is, it didn't end early today. It actually ended later than it has been. It ended after like 10:20. He's been ending before 10 o'clock. which is less than 3 hours.
That's the
of
barest
actual
minimum
product.
of his contract, I'm guessing.
Yep, 3
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, so basically, but nothing happened, and
When does it?
No.
but they did want to give this is your wikis to
Oh, the death wikis. 3 of them.
John Madden and to Bob Saget
And Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier. Oh, right. So that's what we're starting our show with today because so Robin, being the incredibly pompous ridiculousness that she is, I guess as opposed to Muhammad Ali. And John, if you have the thread up from today, there were a lot of good points in there from the listening thread. But she basically said that Sidney Poitier was the reason that she is who she is today. I thought that she wrote a book basically saying that she is who she is today because of Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
And because he was such a fighter and he was, such a seminal part of her upbringing that, that's why she basically dedicated her book to him and went down Fifth Avenue.
You know how we always talk about how every baby boomer has the same references, the same inspirations, the Beatles, blah, 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 Mickey Mantle, Johnny Carson, yawn, yawn, yawn. All black people have the same point of reference. So it's not unique to say Muhammad Ali inspired me, Sidney Poitier. It's all the same people. It's the same.
But but she took it a step further. She said that Sidney Poitier made it so she was good with white people.
I'm gonna play my little.
That's that clip?
No, I'm gonna play a little clippage for you. So let's start. Look at us starting the show at 12 minutes and 39 seconds. So let's start with a little bit of Robin and how she feels that Sidney Poitier was so integral to who she is. And it's actually very telling that she would say that this is the person that she takes after. All right, here we go.
Weren't a lot of roles for black people in film. He succeeded, and he was a breakthrough kind of guy. But the real story was when Robin met Sidney Poitier. I've never forgotten this.
Well, let's start from the beginning. The reason Robin is the way she is because of Sidney Poitier. I fashioned my own personality based on who he played in the movies.
For 4 years, Robin was known as Robin Poitier.
I never took his name.
No, but I called you Robin Poitier because I knew all of this.
In all of the obituaries, they said the regal Sidney.
Yeah, so she said regal, and she thought that it meant that she was regal as well, and that she would be the queen, and therefore that's why she was taking after him. And I'm kind of not understanding that, considering the fact, I swear to you, and I have no hate for Sidney Poitier, but other than To Sir with Love, I know nothing about him, nothing. Did he do Deo?
No, he did not do Day. He was from Bahamas.
Who did Dale?
Wait, the best part, that was I can't think of his name all of a sudden.
Come
and we wanna go home.
Who was that? Come on, guys.
Come on, somebody in the thread.
Come on, threaders.
Come on.
Guess who's not coming to dinner?
Harry Belafonte, thank you.
Oh, yeah, that often confused. I was going to say Ben Vereen.
So, no, the funniest part, though, is that 79,
I'm a Ben Vereen guy.
He tap dances in the middle of the road. But the funniest part of this is that Howard started talking like Sidney Poitier was born in Haiti or something. That English wasn't his first language. The guy was born in the Bahamas and had an English education. England English education.
Yes.
He was better educated than Wiggy was. And he spoke the Queen's English. He was, good God, how stupid is Howard? I mean, seriously, just because he's black and from the islands, he thinks that he's French.
I don't think he's ever met a black person from the islands.
No!
I really don't. I don't think that,
What island? Long Island? I would agree with that. Hamptons?
Maybe there, but definitely not the
he didn't
warm
know
one.
what a turducken was, which I thought was pretty funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And he so she said yes. Guess who's coming to dinner was indeed a big deal. That was like a
Monique,
real
Howard only
huge
makes
deal.
his turkeys out of rice cakes, salmon, and frozen bananas. It's a combination of those
pressed
things.
salmon pressed into the shape of a turkey. Exactly. Oh, look, Chaka Khan is chiming in about Sidney Poitier. My husband knew Shari Poitier. He said she was so dumb she thought she was Shari Belafonte. Is that true? Listen, you know what? A lot of these black actors played very seminal roles in the 60s and the 70s when most African Americans couldn't really get roles other than playing like Yes Massa kind of things, and actually in Star Trek, Lieutenant Uhura was really I mean just like one of a kind, that she was able to play like a strong independent black woman on a show and had a kiss with
Shatner.
who?
She kissed Shatner.
Did she kiss Shatner? I thought it was,
she did. Yes, she did.
Scotty.
No, she kissed Shatner. Yeah, so that was Roddenberry's whole thing was to kind of like, look, see, it was kind of a reflection of like, hey, this is how the world could get along. That was always the point with Star Trek, the original concept of it. So
yes,
yeah, but
and as I learned in the Ricardos, it's all because of Lucy that show ever came to be. So I'm
that's
like
right.
They
stood behind it.
Productions being the ones behind Star Trek, which I find amazing. Oh, we lost Johnny. All right, so
he's the Beanie Mac of old movies.
Yeah, so listen. So John was having a couple of problems with his connection even before we got on air. So it might be a few seconds
Brown.
before we get him back. So my nemesis Christina Brown says, "Rest in power, Sydney." Hey, Johnny will appreciate this. Johnny.
No, I am not Super Trooper. I'm not going to let her finish a sentence at all because I don't want her cursing. So.
Johnny, look at what Christina Brown wrote.
BLM, rest in power.
So bad.
Rest in power. Very good.
Oh, that was a chuckle. So
but every big black actor has Sidney Poitier as their inspiration. You can't have one. I don't care if it's Jamie Foxx. I don't care if it's Wesley Snipes. I don't care if it's Halle Berry. They all worship Sidney Poitier. Every Oscar speech where a black actor wins, he's always thanked. It's just
But don't they now do like Denzel Washington? And,
yes, he's become the new Sidney Poitier.
Samuel Jackson and stuff like that. Like, don't they look more?
I
mean, Sidney Poitier is old school. Right?
Well,
yes.
Now he's
those
dead.
Oscar winners.
Well, that too.
That too. He's dead, so it's kind of not as hip.
That too. If only Christina Brown knew how much she was talked about here.
I know. I think about that all the time.
I will tell you, nobody references George Jefferson. Bella, I will tell you, I actually tried to look for her. I got in touch with. Oh, by the way, that picture you have as your avatar is hysterical. I looked in my school yearbook to see if I could find anybody that we both knew mutually to see if we could find her. I think she would get a kick out of it to know that I talk about her punching me in the stomach when I was in fourth grade. Too. I think she would actually laugh at it and probably say, I still kick your ass, Monique, but still. Yeah, Christina. All right, let me just do the second clip of Robin so that we can just like button up the Robin Sidney Poitier thing.
Yeah, Super Trooper. That's a good point.
Hang on.
It's hard to conceive how Sidney was.
Over to me. I would.
What, Johnny?
No, a Super Trooper had a good comment about Sidney Poitier. He's been seemingly retired for decades. And he still comes up all the time. I was thinking that too. What's the last thing he did?
I don't know, but that's like Kirk Douglas. Did he die yet?
Kirk Douglas is dead.
He died.
Is definitely dead. Yes, he's dead.
He's definitely dead, but he hadn't done anything for like 1,000 years.
He was 100 years old or 101 when he died. I mean,
how old was Sidney Poitier when he died?
He was 86, I think.
Oh, not that old.
But he'd been retired. I mean, he's been retired since like the 90s. I don't think he's been in anything.
Really? How many roles are there? All right, let's just finish Robin. Hang on.
Over to me. I was not I would never have approached him. And he rushed over and he said, "My dear lady."
Really?
I loved you. I love your work. And over to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do we believe this?
So first of all, I'm going to comment. I commented this morning. no one was around when this happened. So basically, it's her word against a dead guy. So there was no camera, no picture taken with her and Sidney Poitier. Allegedly, her date was gone and not there. There was no one else at the table. It was just her.
Well, you know what the Stern Show's connection to Sidney Poitier.
I'm on the air. I sent you a link to Chad Gunk. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye. That was nice.
The Stern Show's only connection to Sidney Poitier, and he's not going to come up, surprise, surprise. And I'm sure somebody might have even Stuttering John got to him at something in the mid '90s, and it was pretty racial, if I recall. And he did not like it. He didn't appreciate it. So I don't believe a word Robin says. Not that he remembers or he connected Stuttering John to, but do you remember the Stuttering John interview where he got Sidney Poitier at something?
No.
Some premiere or award show?
No.
Does anybody in the chat remember it?
Was that on the E show?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
it was a video component. To it. I wish I could have got.
Remember it. It's never been. I don't think I've seen it since. I mean,
if my PC was working, I could have gotten it. Is that Gary Puppet claims it's a "Who are you and why are you famous?" That could have been worse than that at GP. I don't know. I can't remember anymore. I thought it was racial.
It probably was. I mean, that was always their go-to, especially with a black actor. Seriously.
Yeah, I don't know anything
Jackie
about
writing too.
I don't know anything about Sidney
absolutely.
Poitier at all. So I have nothing to answer this conversation.
I just knew he was in some good movies in a long time ago.
In the 60s, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
70s.
I don't know.
Barely.
Did he do a Love Boat edition?
I don't think he ever did Love Boat. I don't think he ever did.
Did he do TV?
Okay, so basically the tenor of tonight's show, and I swear to you, we're going to try and do it for an hour. We are doing this.
We're down now. We have 29 minutes.
I literally did like 2 clips, and from that we only have like another 1, 2, 3 more clips to go to. I did want to talk a little bit about his John Madden wiki, which was ridiculous because between the two of them,
bad.
They had nothing to say. They really had nothing to say.
2 weeks later, it was his excuse to pick that JD Buffalo carcass. It wasn't even about Madden. Right. It was just so he could use JD.
John Madden, because JD's very broken up about it.
Which I find hysterical because when you look at JD, who literally looks like a fluffy stuffed animal, like squeaky toy, who has never played football in his life or basically ever gotten off the couch. And the only thing that he knows about John Madden is the fact that he plays the video game.
I think the whole thing, Monique, was a portal to fat shame JD. I think everything else was completely. Well, no, there was nothing else relevant about it.
It was even more than that. It was full on filler because not only fat shaming, but then also the Christmas card. Also, then his weird eating habits, his traveling, him being poor, his wife. Oh dear, shit, Jesus.
Okay, is that real? There's your guy. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically all he does. He gambles and he plays Madden on
and smokes pot.
Video and smokes pot.
And Howard wouldn't have it any other way.
So after they did their Sidney Poitier thing, they went into John Madden. And again, they were trying to be extremely, it's so funny. They can go days on end without talking about absolutely anything topical whatsoever.
2 weeks old, right.
And then make a point
cold pizza.
Making sure that today's show was like extremely topical.
Well,
right?
It's because it had the one thing that Howard loves to kill time with: death wikis. Especially if you have something that's a contact to the show, you can kill the 3 hours without even working up a sweat. And I mean, it truly the Madden thing.
Sociopathic.
Yes.
Eulogies.
Oh yeah, all about
no
themselves.
Thought, no feeling, no passion, right. Joking
completely
through it.
Self-serving.
There's nothing. Yes.
Well, I have a clip.
Do you guys remember
of that as well. It's kind of ridiculous. Go ahead, Johnny.
He didn't bring it up. I heard this portion of the show. I heard about an hour and a half, and I heard this. Do you guys remember Howard used to and again, this has to be a lie. We know everything out of his mouth, especially in this when it comes to projects he didn't do. Do you remember he used to brag? He claims the NFL and Fox offered him an NFL commentating role, and he had to meet with Madden about it. You remember that?
Please.
Who said this?
Howard claims Fox offered him an NFL commentary role, and he had a meeting with John Madden about it.
So today he totally disproved that ever happened because he knew nothing about John Madden. He didn't even know what he looked like. So
Absolutely.
I mean, the wig always gets caught in his lies.
All right, so let's hear two ARP members talk about John Madden just a little bit, okay? Again, all these clips are really, really tiny. I didn't want to do anything that was like too extreme for today's show.
John Madden, because JD's very broken up about it. I'm not a big sports fan. That's no secret if you listen to this show. I don't watch a lot of sports. But one of the guys I really like, whenever I'd watch a football game, I like John Madden. I liked listening to his commentary. I felt like he came off as a guy who could explain things to me. And he seemed like a real authority. He seemed to know his stuff. Again, I'm an amateur. I don't know anything.
You did not write that.
Well,
So,
he was a coach.
I've heard that.
And
same
he
eulogy
actually
5
was the
times.
guy
write
who
that.
started highlighting the guys who helped the play happen.
By the way, while we're on football, I was watching the Buck and Aikman squad, which is the A squad for Fox. How much does Erin Andrews sound like Beth? If you close your eyes,
a lot,
She has that
too much.
Arrested Development baby voice, that 14-year-old baby voice.
Listen to their completely laissez-faire way that they treat Bob. It's just crazy to me. All right, here it comes.
Oh, it's so they're so giddy, right? I mean, there's
And,
no passion.
I remember. Actually, I don't remember. Aside, I didn't remember Bob being on the show.
Didn't remember Bob being on the show. Okay, 13
10 times.
What
You really believe
13
that?
times. I remember him being on the show.
Yeah. What did he
But,
do all those 13 times?
I mean, what were we thinking? What was Bob busy doing?
I don't know.
One time, the guys reminded me of this. He played
What happened?
I don't
Like
know.
UW.
Fred in Winfred's Money. And Bob had the unique distinction of not getting one question right.
So, Bob Saget was on 13 times. And this is the best that they could do, is to say
Yeah.
that they don't understand why he was ever on. What is it that he could have possibly have been doing that they would allow a Bob Saget on? Never mentioned Artie. Never mentioned Dirty Work.
Oh, it's crazy. I
Never
know.
mentioned
That's amazing.
anything. Even his friend John Stamos, who he's so close to, never mentioned, just the whole connection that the Stern Show would have had with him by virtue of other people that were very, very close to the show. And the reason that he doesn't have any of that is because Bob Saget just died. So he needs those 70 people to go and do all the research, cut all the clips, make sure they have everything together before Howard can actually talk about him.
Because
He's not on his radar anymore. He's not famous enough for him.
No.
He's viewed him. Saget has become that weird list of Howard deems worthy of doing this show, and it's a bizarre thing how that it's Walnut Brain works. But Saget is deemed beneath the show, but Stamos isn't, even though they kind of have the same career.
Wait. First of all, Stamos, Wiki has a crush on Stamos.
Of deaths. Bingo.
And Wig doesn't get, Saget's comedy at all because he's over his head. And plus, he is a 79 IQ. So basically, he's only as good as the last conversation he had. And
Listen,
it truly, truly shows.
Go, David.
I
ahead.
disagree. If you look at everybody that's passed away that Howard trivializes, or they're still alive and he trivializes, they're all that blue-collar comedy guys that used to bust Howard's balls. They all called, goofed on him. They all would roast him and all that stuff back when Howard was allowed that. And what he did is he systematically got rid of anybody that said anything remotely not positive to him. Gilbert, Bob Saget, Norm, Artie, everybody, all those blue collar guys. For some of them aren't that good, so I'm not gonna say that they're fantastic. But the one thing they had in common, they all did those. Remember when they used to have those roasts when in the beginning? They all goofed on Beth. They all goofed on Howard, and he got rid of all of them.
Yeah. G.
And
Canada
now-
says,
and
Bigatron is
look
so
who's left.
happy
Look
to
who's left.
outlive these guys.
Who's left? Just the butthole lickers in the studio.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, RK
You got rid of-
is
Yeah.
right, and quoting me there, and right, yeah. He's like Arm said, Howard have to do that too cool for school act, like he didn't really have any kind of yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. That's positively what he's doing there. He doesn't remember having them
He even
on.
said today. He said it's amazing. Look at the fact that my parents are outliving these guys.
Yeah, Colin Quinn, exactly.
And it's like, gosh, it's like your parents have nothing to do with the fact that these guys are dying. I mean,
How much blow do your parents do? That's what you ask yourself.
Exactly.
in the 80s,
these
exactly.
guys-
Saget
cats
lives
were
his
famous
life.
in the
He doesn't
80s.
sit. His parents sit inside and watch 16 hours of TV a day for 55 years in a row, and
Let's be honest.
and
All these
colonoscopies
guys were
every 2
famous
weeks.
in the 80s. You have
Hang on,
Coke,
John. Hang on.
You have Coke. You have smoke-filled clubs. I mean,
Tons of alcohol.
just even if they were like straight edge and didn't do any drugs, doing stand-up in those small clubs, holy crap! It is like you're just inhaling freaking a tailpipe, and eventually that's gonna.
Was he a
your
smoker?
heart.
Was Saget a smoker?
No, he doesn't have to be, John. How many nightclubs did he do? Thousands.
No, I agree
And
with
it's
that,
like-
but he could have been.
it's like
He could have been a
you-
chain
that
smoker
is-
as well.
I mean, most of us. I mean, it's been a while since they had the smoky clubs, but I remember, and I've worked in different countries where that stuff is still, good to go, and you go in there and you just come out, everything smells like smoke.
Well,
so you
could
gotta
it
figure,
also?
You got to figure Bob it was the equivalent of smoking a few packs a day doing those clubs.
Well, that and also dating inappropriately young girls is probably pretty tough on the body.
His wife is 24 years younger than him.
Yeah, it's a little tough on a 65-year-old man that inhaled that much smoke. That's a little hard on the ticker.
Well, I mean, ultimately it could be something else that cardiac arrest, but that's not going to help.
Well, according
it's
to
not-
some of
That
the
is not
last
gonna help.
interviews he did, he had just gotten over COVID. He also happened to have mentioned on the last show he was on that he'll probably wind up dying of COVID because he was so sick.
Listen,
So
I
just throwing it
gotta
out
address-
there. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
real Champa, you're full of shit. Secondhand smoke is one of the most dangerous things known to man. And people go, well, why is it so dangerous? Isn't smoking more dangerous? Well, you gotta remember, the person smoking is smoking and inhaling secondhand smoke. When a cigarette is just idle in someone's hands, it's burning at lower temperature, therefore emitting more carcinogens into the air. Where if you inhale it, it burns a lot of that just by sheer temperature alone. So secondhand smoke is super fucked up dangerous. So please.
Not a myth.
No, yeah, there's plenty. But can we just Rupert Pumpkin? Great post there, Monique. Great in the comments. Yeah, so I definitely remember this. Yeah, Saget was on the wrap-up show. This is July 17th, 2013.
Wow.
Gary said Saget just dropped it. So you know how that goes, right? Can't get on the real show, comes on the wrap-up show. Saget's probably rolling his eyes like, I can't believe I can't get on. And there's probably some garbage show he did that day. That there's no excuse to not have him in. And Monique is spot on. If you listen to that, that's a sociopath he's so giddy and his voice is not an ounce of remorse, or it's a pretty sad death. Saget's a great guy. There's deaths where you're like, big deal. He's a mensch. He is really beloved by the people who knew him. That's not one where you're like, hey, whatever, and he's sort of joking around through it. He doesn't have an ounce of remorse or empathy, and he doesn't have it because Howard has no loss in his life. He can't have empathy. I cannot wait till the karma police come at his door. Please,
dude,
please,
we're gonna be long dead before that happens.
I know.
Exactly. It seems that way.
Anybody who's
a deal with the
hoping
devil.
to live to see that day, good luck.
Yeah, Xavier and I are actually thinking of doing a show about stars who have made deals with the devil.
Yeah.
And ever
Pleased to
since we
meet
had that
you.
discussion, I
Hope you guessed
hear
my
that
name.
all the time. Like, I hear people talk about the deal they made with the devil.
Yeah. There's there's just the karma doesn't come their way. It's just one good thing. Howard's
There does seem to be
top of
people
the
like
list.
that, doesn't it? I mean, there's people like, I fit Eric. He's not a celebrity, but damn, how many?
Exactly.
Who would have guessed that he would have outlived David Bowie? Just
Exactly.
so many years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Prince, Michael
there is
Jackson.
There is something to this
Tom
whole
Petty.
deal with the devil thing. With a 79 IQ, who has absolutely no sense of humor, no ability to actually interview anybody in a sensible way. Yet he is a billionaire by all outlooks of it. Yeah, essentially. So I mean, there has to be something a little more supernatural at this point.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
there's also the Schadenfreude aspect too. What I would say, this show is about nothing more. Schadenfreude is its greatest. Is really what the show. Look what
that hurts.
Look at what G Canada writes. G Canada is a great post in the comment section. Saying, like I said before, old Howie is loving these guys dying before him, even if it means he locks himself away and does absolutely nothing and starves them. Yeah.
What is it that you wanted me to read? I'm sorry, I was going to put it up on the screen.
G Canada is a great post about Howard Schadenfreude, how he loves these people dying.
Old Howie is loving these guys dying before him, even if it means he licks himself away. Does absolutely. You meant locks,
that's the guy.
Right?
Yeah,
himself away, does absolutely nothing and starves himself. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Him and Beth will just starve themselves to death. They will be exactly like, Grey Gardens meets Howard Hughes. And we'll hear nothing. He'll be like Johnny Carson, he'll love to live in mystery. He'll love to live in that aura of, there was a Howard sighting today, in his backyard.
Here's $1 million question. Does Howard outlive Beth? That would be the Twilight Zone twist.
No. Beth, actually, yes. Beth,
you know what?
Beth
yes,
does
logic
not
would
live
tell
that
you
much longer.
yes. That Beth is going to outlive him, but man,
no.
I don't know, man.
I think she has the same
Howard
psychotic self.
I mean,
it's 20 years now. That's
it doesn't matter. It is very unhealthy. It is extremely unhealthy.
Listen,
that's true.
More or less unhealthy than some of the pictures I put up today from Deb from Dexter.
She's entering a point of life where osteoporosis is going to start coming into play. Mm-hmm. Just the fact that she eats like freaking, I don't know,
gummy bear casserole.
Yeah, so
gummy bears and Lucky Charms.
Eventually, that you got to pay your toll for that stuff, and it's like
exactly.
So, can you imagine her passing away before him? That would be like the Twilight Zone ending.
Collapsed clavicles.
Yeah.
Oh, he
played a martyr.
If she passed away and his parents were still alive.
Well, let's take it to the next step. Let's just say, listen, train hits Beth 5 years from now. Does Howard remarry? He's so codependent.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And he plays he plays the martyr too.
And he'll trade her in for a younger model. He'll marry somebody who's in their 30s.
New beard.
Oh,
new
absolutely.
beard.
He won't give a shit. He'll be like, what's his face? Who's the one who married that Catherine McPhee?
That 70-something-year-old.
Yeah, that producer cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he's like
Exactly.
70-something, and
Yeah,
she's
he
like,
just trades
Howard
them
will
into
marry
younger models.
Howard will marry Millie Bobby Brown. Beth kicks it.
The funny thing about Howard will marry or Howard will go out with, it's like, who would want him? Like, who wants that person? Who looks at that and says, "This is"? I get the money. I
the
get
contract.
The money. Yeah,
what
I get the
decade are you living
contract.
in? This is like we're living in the, frolic-free. Hey, I don't give a crap how old you are. Let me see your credit report and your bank account.
I agree.
Monique, I think you're right. His negatives far outweigh his. The man has zero qualities. As I think about it, when I stack it, he's zero qualities.
Well,
there's no way that money's worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, Beth dies, and let's just say you have a friend that knows Howard, and he wants to marry you for some freaking reason.
Yeah.
That scenario plays out. Knowing what you know about him and knowing how much money he has in his bank account, what would you do?
I would absolutely marry him.
See, told you.
But you'd be doing an Anna Nicole Smith.
Keep it real.
Right?
Keep that shit real, dude.
I would absolutely marry him.
Black Amex, dude. Are you kidding me?
The thing is, the thing I would do differently though.
Put a pillow over his face?
He needs somebody who babies him, and he needs somebody who takes care of him, and he needs somebody who is quite okay with.
He needs someone to feed his ego.
It's January, anybody with money like him would have taken off his 3 weeks at Christmas time, and okay, granted COVID, but other than that, it still wouldn't happen. Would take those 3 weeks and go off to Italy and go look at the best museums.
Well, first of all, he's gonna say, "You can go to Italy.
Go to Lake Como, or just
people don't speak English there.
Rent a yacht and sail from from
the move
Split
would
to
be-
Dubrovnik or something. Like rich people do."
Get him on a boat, and then Natalie Woods him.
Yeah, exactly.
But you then, who marries him, are making a deal with the devil, because
Absolutely.
That's
your
correct.
life is basically non-existent. Yeah, sure, you can buy all the $3,000 Gucci denim jackets you want, but it means nothing in the big scheme of living a joyous life or being happy by even any stretch of imagination.
I've seen enough Dexter to know what to do once the will has been set up.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I saw how they took care of that broad in Breaking Bad with the sweetener.
The only
stevia. Stevia.
The only
stevia.
good thing is though that I pretty much figured that his dick doesn't work, so
Absolutely,
at least you don't have to worry
doesn't.
about that. That there's no way. I think he has to take like Viagra just not to pee on his shoes.
That's great. Thank you. That would be amazing.
Monique's furry friends.
That would be amazing.
Beth is Dr. Bauman gives Les beard
the
implants.
best part would be when we called Monique and the phone's been disconnected or is no longer in service.
I say that about Xavier all the time when he wins the
You
lottery.
go log on to RadioGunk and just 501 air. Okay, please check URL. Listen, we make no excuses.
Please. If Howard offered us $50,000 for the website, we'd take it. Are we kidding?
$50, dude. Pay my cable bill. It's all yours.
Exactly.
We have no shame.
No shame whatsoever.
No.
None. Horrible.
Johnny Fratto didn't make you a posthumous offer.
Oh,
According to Mutt.
bro, we've talked about this so many times. We would have
The Mutt conversation is great.
It would have been so fucking over so quick.
What? I wasn't paying attention. I'm still looking at Monique's furry friends.
If Johnny Fratto offered you 7 figures,
Oh my God, taking a heartbeat.
A heartbeat.
I swear to God, you guys would never hear from me again.
Monique, before I forget,
What?
and it's just hit me, can you please, for the good people in the chat, watch? I think a lot of people haven't seen this. A very underrated
Fratto's
RadioGunk crossover with Stuttering John is you going over his wedding in 1997 in the video.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
got
I think
to put
I
that
reached
up.
out to him and I
Can
asked
we
him
talk
if I
about
could.
today's show?
Do you guys want
hour
to
in.
hear what's those podcast people mentioned us as well? Hold on.
Who
let
are
me
these
see if I can
podcast-
find
right.
that. But
Carol.
Joe sent it to me.
No, Cindy Lou Who. They did not have sex. That his winky hasn't worked in years.
Oh, what? It's not bang o'clock all the time? What are you
Oh,
talking
please.
Well-
Like I said, he has to take Viagra not to pee on his shoes.
Remember he used to brag about peeing sitting down? Like that
Exactly.
was his thing.
Yeah,
Yes,
like
he
a
did.
like
And
a
he
chick.
thought like he basically was insinuating he was a pretty princess sitting down while peeing.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's
He wants to
before
be
he
a
got
pretty
the Toto.
princess.
Yes.
Sending cross-dressing Christmas cards and what are we thinking? Accusing him of being gay?
No, absolutely not.
There's nothing there. It's just we're delusional.
No.
He's
Most normal men dress up like that and call other men handsome just because
yeah.
we're good looking.
Watch Chaz Bono's reality show and the AFC Championship's on. That's normal.
What's
That's a
going
lot
on
of
with the game right
testosterone.
now?
I saw an Instagram post the other day
Who?
Who's
saying
not
he's
dead?
coming back soon. Red
Who?
Bar,
Oh, okay.
Mike Red.
I don't
Highly
know
recommend
who that
it.
is.
Highly recommend his videos on YouTube, Money.
What does he mostly do?
He goofs. He's started the whole goofing on other shows. He's been doing this since early 2000s. He has his own like pirate, almost like Christian Slater, pump up the volume studio, and he's been doing this like video goofing on other like he goofs on Rogan and he goofs really really slick. He sounds like a cross between Greg Kinnear and Craig
Greg
Kilborn.
Kinnear.
Very sarcastic, smooth broadcaster, funny as fuck. Funny as F. He has he's been around since 03, I think.
Wow.
All right, we are queued up for Who Are These Podcasts, so let's take a look, see. So you have to know, though, that John constantly will make comments in Opie's feed. But let's listen to Who Are These Podcasts and hear them
Okay.
mention us because it's really silly. So here we go.
This guy's ridiculous. Like, people who had no idea who Opie was before and are now just learning about him now. It's just absurd.
Now, near the end of this video, so he's reading the messages that are coming in, and one of them is from RadioGunk. You familiar with RadioGunk, Eric?
No, I'm not.
Liar.
So RadioGunk is this podcast. It started as a message board on the internet, and it was about most of popular radio shows, but mainly about Howard Stern, and it's looked at some other things as well, but it's mostly lived in the Howard Stern universe. Woman Monique kind of runs the whole thing, and I guess that RadioGunk was messaging Opie at the end here.
I see Todd Pettengill snorkeling in the background with the harpoon. What's up, RadioGunk? Me and RadioGunk are gonna do a little something, hopefully soon.
I hope this is true. I hope, because what RadioGunk does is they goof on Howard Stern to no end. Like, they've decided that Howard Stern's gone completely batshit and that the show sucks.
Are we wrong?
And now, I don't know if that was really RadioGunk or if that was someone pretending to be RadioGunk or what that was. Because that was not a funny thing to say. I see Todd Pettengill snorkeling in the background with a harpoon. Okay, it's not funny, but
that's totally you, John, right?
Opie says that he's planning on doing something with Monique, so I am rooting for that.
Yay!
Let's hope that we can analyze Monique with Opie.
Oh my God, I look forward to that. I do. All right, did anything else go on today's show that we need to
talking about
make
today's
note
show
of before we hang up? What?
I have an observation. And again, if I was able to I'm on a friggin' tablet, so I wasn't able to make the clips I wanted to make. They did a Robin, the turning Robin into Tyra Banks again, and they were sexualizing Robin, and someone's asking about her breasts. A caller calls in, a weird sounding call. It didn't sound fake. It sounded actually like it was a real caller. And so Howard talks about Howard compares Robin's natural breasts to someone he knows who has fake breasts, and how they're wonky, and how they go this way, and how they're medicine balls, and how the nipples are, at a 75-degree angle. And who do you think that really was?
Oh.
Well, I know
Frank
you want to say Beth.
Frank and Tits are son. It's Beth. So Howard has never admitted to Beth having fake breasts. And all this time, one of the many lies
that they're real.
He thinks anybody in the chat, look up Beth and FHM if you want to see.
Oh dear God!
All the proof you need.
Horrible.
Different zip codes.
One's in one's in Castle Shannon, one's in the Hamptons.
Shall I?
The other part, the other thing that happened. Well, the other thing was they used Ronnie to help do a lot of the Saget filler also, which was painful.
Why though? Now why Ronnie?
Exactly, because it was just good filler. He was able to also pull out stuff from Ronnie about, his living in Las Vegas, and then talking to Saget about, like, younger girls, because he allegedly, Saget was talking to Ronnie about dating Stephanie in the green room. God only knows what that was, because the last time he was on the show is 2017. That was the wrap-up show. It was a good 45 minutes of time killer. All it is time killer.
Isn't Howard like 25 years older than Beth or something like that?
Yes.
So what the fuck is he talking about?
Oh, there it goes.
Are we talking about
Howard's
3
years older than Ronnie. Is he 2 years older than Ronnie? Three
he's
years older?
younger.
He's
3 years younger.
I mean younger.
Are we talking about these
Yeah, look at that, man.
meridians?
That one's looking this way, that one's looking this way, and that one in the middle goes, "What do you want from me?"
Not to be confused.
Oh my God, good one, Monique.
This one?
Oh dear.
Where you could draw. I wish I had my pen with me right now. I could draw a line directly.
If you go to the source of those pictures, Monique, it says RadioGunk on many of them, I think. I think there's just like constant Biznick and Gary Puppet photoshops on like every one.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It wasn't tucking real well. But
Oh, Tiger Lily.
What'd you say?
It says nipple, one nipple, two. She's got arrows pointing in different directions.
Wait, what were we just talking about? I totally lost our train of thought before I put her up there.
You were talking about Robin's fun bags. I guess.
They were trying to sexualize Robin at 16.
No. We had moved on. What else?
To Ronnie, then the Ronnie being the filler for Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Seriously, it was actually kind of like you're talking to your limo driver about Bob Saget. Your limo driver, And then it was so funny though. They were talking about Ronnie's neighborhood, and he has a pilot living next door, and Howard immediately goes, "I bet he's a really good-looking guy." I'm like,
"Oh my
what
God.
man? What man says that?" I mean, seriously.
Every pilot's race banned from
Show
Johnny
of
Quest.
hands on all your little stupid avatars here of any man who has ever said that to another man about any man ever.
This is what I know. It's just over and over again, and at that age. Not that it matters what age you are. Not that it matters what age, but the stuff in Howard's out of the closet. Like, you think, how would anybody be delusional in saying that when it's his TiVo, or the evidence just piles on and on and on and on? He's gay. He's gay.
He's that 12. He wants to be that 12-year-old girl. Really
I'm not going to read out loud what Two Sweet Pistol Pete is saying on the thing right now about the Olsen twins, but I did actually happen to make note of the fact that the Olsen twins did not make any public comments on the death of Bob Saget.
No, they did.
No.
But I don't think they're social media. I don't think they social media, those two.
After they killed Heath Ledger, I think they're laying low.
Yeah, I think they're laying low for a while
I think that will be a kind of a thing
That's
to
why they
keep
stashed the drugs on Heath. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. That's so weird that the cleaning woman, the first people that she would call,
She called
would be the Olsen
mop-up
twins.
people.
Huh?
She called her security. They came in, they mopped the place up, and then they called the cops.
Yeah, she called the Ray
Nothing
Donovans.
suspicious about that at all.
Yeah, she called the Ray Donovans.
Did anybody hear they were planning a Dirty Work 2? Seriously. Wasn't that a thing Saget was actually talking about?
The last news I heard
Ida
about
says they did all over
about
Instagram.
Dirty
I
Work
didn't know.
is that Saget was working on an R-rated version, a cut. I think he mentioned that on Artie's first show.
Apparently, Artie just had him on.
Well, yeah, I believe it was like the first show back. He actually called in.
Okay.
It was the very first Artie return, right?
Well, if not the first, among the first.
Yeah, it was like the first or second one, definitely.
Yeah.
So now the only two people left from Dirty Work are Adam Sandler and Artie?
Pretty much.
Well,
Think about
Chris
that
Farley was a Dirty Work casualty too, right?
Yeah, he was. Chris Farley.
Macchio's not Dirty Work.
No, it's
Chris Farley, Jack Warren, Rickles, Norm,
Jack
Bob
Warden,
Saget.
Rickles.
Wow.
So
Curse of the Dirty Work.
And Artie
It's
will
now
outlive
the
Sandler,
new Poltergeist.
I'm outroing us, you guys. Thank you for joining us for tonight.
We're sorry,
and
people.
we will see you.